Anyways, the blind band's coming out here. Wild Soul Ophelia coming out for Friends Forever. Ophelia Moon Queen from Impunity.
Ruh-roh.
What's that?
The artillery.
Artillery is open.
Do either of these teams value him? I know speaking with Impunity, they knew full well the power. I don't think I got a chance to speak to actually Friends Forever about it, but I think they've seen the impact of artillery in this event so far. Other power junglers like that Keeper of the Forest, like that Tempest, still on the board as well.
Yeah.
Will they make an appearance here in this lock pool? We'll have to see. We know Stay Green, they like to favor a lot of junglers being thrown into that lock pool and taking their pick. How does Friends Forever approach this? How does Impunity approach this? That's anybody's guess.
We'll see. We'll see. Aluna again locked up there as you talked about. So now, okay, this is interesting. Usually we're so used to seeing the Legion team having the first pick, but look at this. Impunity actually has the Hellborn team has the first pick here. So apparently they went ahead. I don't know exactly how the roll went, but obviously they have the first pick over there as the Hellborn side.
Yeah.
So that seems like that's a double plus coming out here.
Yeah,
for Impunity. I'm not sure how that happened.
Well, we've seen teams actually favoring second pick a little bit too lately. We saw Lions. I'm not sure if they were favoring Hellborn or favoring the second pick. Actually, looking at it,
yeah,
we saw Lions and a bunch of other teams. Formerly, people were like, "Oh, having 2 first picks is such an advantage." And then people liked the second pick, having your options out of the 2 heroes out of the lock pool, so able to grab 2 junglers if you want after the team maybe picks up. I don't know what have. There's a lot of powerful double hero combinations you sort of guarantee yourself in that lock pool. On top of the fact that you have the last normal hero pick of the normal drafting phase, so they can't draft a counter in it to response.
Yeah.
So you want Armadon. It's like they can draft a Mage Bane afterwards. Sort of stuck just going up against Armadon with whatever's available in that lock pool.
Yeah. So now back over to Impunity for Air, who's the captain of the team. I love these these player names over here on Impunity. By the way, they're actually pretty damn simple. It makes life a lot easier as a caster. We got Air, Trinity, Ron, Act, and Signify.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I actually heard that they changed a lot of their names. Maybe to have a better presentation or better image. Either way, they do look sleek. Yeah, definitely rocking it out there. Trinity, the little standout one. Everyone else has teal names. He's rocking that purple. Something special about him over there?
I guess so.
Keep my eye on him.
Keeper of the Force, Glacius, the final locks, from Impunity, and then Tempest actually to finish things off. So, a very interesting lock pool, but not really. I mean, Andromeda maybe kind of the curveball there, but other than that, nothing too radical by any means.
Right. Well, it tells you that if they want, they get Master of Arms plus either Tempest or Keeper.
Yeah.
Depending on, I think Master of Arms is the most favorable between Glacius, Aluna, Andromeda, and Glacius, and they're going to get either Keeper or Tempest here on Hellborn. So, yeah, I would expect that Master pick.
We'll see how it comes. Well, can you be certain of that? I mean, first pick Master of Arms. Couldn't they just go Tempest
first pick?
Keeper?
I'm talking about Impunity there in response, because they're going to pick Keeper or Tempest.
Remember, Impunity
first.
is the first pick.
Oh, okay. I'm actually okay. You're right.
Backwards.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that got me.
Not used to
All
that.
right. Friends Forever then. Yeah. Impunity has to grab Keeper or Tempest here, so they don't give him the Keeper Tempest combination right away. I believe so, and more likely than not, it's going to be that Keeper of the Forest. We know his strength. And then in response, we'll see something like that Master Tempest. Also, you don't want to give a team that Master Keeper combination. We've seen what it's capable of. It's like an AoE Deadwood root combined with the Master.
Yeah. Pretty ridiculous. Parasite, Pebbles, Silhouette, Fade, Deadwood. Coming out so far, of course, the final ban going to be happening here for Friends Forever, and it's going to be Soul Reaper, actually. So Soul Reaper throwing up there. We know we've seen Soul Reaper make his appearances here and there on the even in this event, let alone lately in the competitive scene. So going to be banned. Rally is going to be the first pick coming out for Impunity, though. They're glad to see him on the board, I'm sure. And so they'll quickly snatch him up. Not really much thought put into that one. So now it's up to Friends Forever to kind of respond here.
Right. And it's not like they gave up the Pebbles or the Deadwood to grab that rally. Draconis being picked up right away. Looking forward to carrying with that lockdown. Draconis plus Tempest, it does work. He pulls them in together.
Yeah.
The AoE from the Cataclysmic Assault, the Fiery Barrage, everything coming out at once does do a ton of damage. So, yeah, huge carry potential coming out with that Draconis. And, yeah, I believe it'll be Mimosa. I'll probably be the one winding up playing that. I think I'm looking at his games. Yep, played Draconis not too long ago.
He's their carry.
He is their carry go-to with a Deadwood game thrown there. Interesting. Pharaoh picked up, and the artillery! Here we go!
They got the artillery here. Again, it's still... Oh, Jerizai, final pick, by the way. First time we've seen him here in this GSL event, but... Of course, Jerizai is always just that hero that you have in the back of your mind is, are we going to see Jerizai? Because he definitely has potential to be that hero that, well, just the big part just being annoying to play against.
Yeah, Breaky, I like that a lot because, you know, when Pharaoh goes in, that sort of indicates that the LRM's going to come out.
Yeah.
What that indicates for Jeremiah in turn is, hey, I'm going to activate my ultimate now and mitigate a lot of your damage. And you know what else is physical?
What's that?
The Seismic Slam.
Of course it is.
The Seismic Slam.
Rally
so a lot
relies.
of this damage is totally mitigated.
Yeah, that Soul's Blessing. As usual, big deal, and always a protective charm, something else that's just annoying to deal with. So, well, and then there's always the heal bomb, too. So, yeah, Jeremiah, very strong hero. You know, when it comes to the laning phase, always interesting to see where he's placed with that said. You know, usually like to see him in that solo role, so at least you can get the levels, but we'll see how Friends Forever decides to run him here. But they're shaping up to be what could be a lineup just as usually he tends to have with Draconis lineup specifically surrounding that Draconis. Tempest is going to be the first pick here from Impunity. So now we'll see what Friends Forever responds with.
I don't know about that. I mean, Andromeda Keeper of the Forest. Don't tell me you're not going to pick Keeper, or I will break my keyboard and headset
Don't do that.
right here. No, it's happening. Just pick it. Just pick it, please. You got the Draconis. You need some lockdown for him. He's good against the Tempest. He's good against the Artillery. The LRM also gets canceled. And that is a pretty big deal coming out. I mean,
it seems like it is a very, very solid choice here.
Yeah, I'm sure they're just using this extra time to stretch.
Well, here's the thing, though. If they don't go Keeper here, I don't think Impunity's going Keeper themselves, though. Because you look at their lane setups and how it could end up being, because if they go Keeper, then it doesn't seem like it'd be the strongest. Because then you end up having like a support Pharaoh.
Yeah, but Keeper Jeremiah, strong push, good team, and
they aren't going to go to the end. But
I'm not going to break my keyboard.
Well,
I'm not going to break my headset.
Good. We aren't going to see Keeper, so
okay.
So on either side,
let me just take a look here and like actually see what that actually means here. We could have seen a Draconis getting babysat, a solo Bubbles and a solo Jeremiah before with that Keeper, but.
Well, Master of Arms does bring his power to the table, of course, as well. I mean, you are dealing with even more minus armor now on top of the Aurora from Andromeda. You got the Goo being put down. Draconis will love that. And then you always have the Master's Call. Again, I'm not too familiar with these player roles, so I'm guessing we're going to see probably a secondary support, actually, Master of Arms. We'll see how they end up playing. Okay, yeah, he buys a Ward of Sight, actually, right off the bat, so I can safely assume that he is indeed going to be a secondary support here. Andromeda, most likely the main support, of course.
Yeah, I just feel like having a jungler is so strong right now, and I feel like he did synergize so well with their lineup in all. And, well, you know, okay, how about we got a new train of thought here? Master of Arms. I like to look at his pushback versus his stun, and there's very few situations where you actually want to use that pushback ability. I don't even know what it's called right now. It's used a little
blast shot, I believe.
The blast shot instead of the charge shot.
Yeah.
And one of them I could see is maybe pushing the Pharaoh out after he hooks into someone, so he's not keeping that dot damage from his Hellfire when the walls are up, and yeah, maybe something else too.
Master of Arms needs to be a little bit careful here. Look at Impunity. They're setting up for a definitely collapse here. Well, Master of Arms run into the death trap. Draconis also nearby. It doesn't look like it. He's kind of just playing it safe. They're actually bringing up the winged courier here. And that should give him plenty of information to work with. So he's going to go ahead and spot out a Luna at least. Use artillery, puts on the bunker down, actually. But in the end, no Ward of Sight is going to be placed. And now both teams going to start heading towards their lanes, of course. So with that said, as far as how the lanes are going to set up, look at where Pharaoh is, by the way. He got that Ward of Sight down. He's actually sitting in these trees here, playing very cautious. But Andromeda Jeremiah going to be down here at the bottom lane. So Friends Forever kind of making a point. They want to support this Jeremiah, get in that farm in the short lane. Andromeda going to kind of babysit here, at least initially. Bubble's going to be mid. And then you got Master of Arms Draconis top. Kind of a 2-on-2 setup coming out for Friends Forever here. This is pub status here. not too often we see 2-on-2 setups.
2-on-2 where?
As far as the lane goes.
Oh, you mean 2-1-2? Yeah, I thought you meant a 2v2 matchup.
No.
I was like, am I crazy? Am I missing something? Bubbles should be able to do pretty well against this rally. Luna in mid is just in general pretty safe solo mid. Taking a look at the top lane, Draconis should definitely be able to dominate that artillery. We'll see if they're able to establish lane control. They can deny artillery a lot of farm as they pull it back. Otherwise, he's going to be able to sit over safely, snipe out the creeps here at the tower, making a lot of use of this bunker down early on.
Yeah, so we'll keep an eye, of course, on the creep farm as always here in this early laning phase. The Bubbles versus the Rally, definitely going to be interesting there here in this middle matchup. I mean, this does allow us to see kind of that true 1v1 match in the middle lane, which is cool. Of course, they do have a Tempest here in the being played by Air for Impunity, and he has a chance to set up a gank perhaps if Bubbles isn't careful. But obviously, Bubbles with that getaway potential, I think he shouldn't be too worried by any means either. So.
Yeah, we saw, of course, the Luna adaptation. Rally against Bubbles. Rally does great in this setup. Well, it does depend. I've seen Bubbles and Rally both win this matchup, depending on how Bubbles is able to lay out that harass. Does have a little bit of an experience advantage, so let's boil it down to a rune. Whoever gets that 2-minute rune, does it well.
Could be a big difference maker. But again, Jeremiah playing this farming role. He actually picks up a hatchet from the side shop here. After he gets over here, gets a little bit of his initial farm. So really just going to be the farming hero, and I'm actually kind of curious to see how that works out here for the Legion team, because again, they have a Draconis. Maybe they figure get Jeremiah that early farm, get in the really quick Ring of Sorcery perhaps, get in some decent levels, and then have Draconis switch to the bottom lane. I could definitely see happening here. Bubbles in the meantime with Rally going at it, but Rally falling back before Andromeda comes over, as well as Master of Arms. They were collapsing to the middle lane. But Trinity going to be a little bit too quick, but he still needs to be careful, actually, as Master of Arms is setting up for definitely what could still be a kill chance here if he's not careful.
Yeah, I mean, Trinity did a great job stunning when he had the creep wave momentum and actually blocked the Bubbles crit. The creeps got a lot of auto attacks in. Took out about 3/4 of Bubbles' health there. Meanwhile, they do have that experience and gold advantage. They do have a Tempest farming away and creating that disparity versus 2 support heroes.
Jeremiah going at it with Pharaoh here. Pharaoh's holding his ground somewhat with the Hellfire, but Jeremiah in the end will get him at least pushed back a little bit. Signify, of course, playing that Pharaoh. We'll see how that adds up there in the matchup at the bottom lane. I mean, right now you got a 4-2 Pharaoh compared to a Jeremiah that's 14-7. So Jeremiah clearly winning that bottom matchup. But when it comes to Green Farm, Andromeda's also now roaming down here. But again, Pharaoh's already fallen back, so not going to be ganked here. In the meantime, the jungle, that's just an illusion Master of Arms, so the biggest steal in the world. But yeah, I mean, this Draconis only 6-2, Artillery 17-7 on the other hand. So Artillery most certainly winning this top lane.
Well, he went the early punch dagger there. On top of his bunker down, it does give him a solid last hitting advantage over this Draconis, on top of the fact that Draconis is being played in this offlane.
You see Pharaoh here again, just kind of sitting back, knows that if he gets caught by perhaps a Comet, and then Jeremiah sits on top with the heal bomb and whatnot, maybe be a little bit careful. Jeremiah does have the Protective Charm, by the way. Yes, he actually goes level 2 Protective Charm. Interesting. I mean, we usually see Jeremiah, especially in a role like this, maybe at least get the 1 level into Righteous Aura. Kind of that one-hit wonder, but
yeah, sometimes. I mean, it's only 7%. I honestly prefer Inner Light and Protective Charm both maxed out as soon as possible most times.
Yeah.
I don't even like that 1 point, to be honest, usually.
Okay.
It is an extra few seconds. That few seconds means all the difference.
Yeah. That's true. That's very true. Remember, too, when it used to max out, level 4 used to be full 20 seconds.
I know, and you could keep it up and just keep it non-stop casted. Oh, God, that was broken.
No, it's 16 seconds, I believe, is the full duration. Or 14 seconds, excuse me, so even a little bit less.
Yeah, it definitely took quite a hit.
Most certainly did. How's our middle matchup going in the meantime? Rally 21-4, Bubbles 20-1, so pretty even back and forth here when it comes down to it. We're coming up to 5 minutes, so no room going to be spawning just yet for either one of them. Both of them are out of bottle charges currently, so that 6-minute room could be big.
Does have the harass advantage. Rally sort of sitting at half health. No bottle charges for either one of them, but Bubbles sitting at full resources himself.
Yeah.
Gonna have that ulti plus shell surf combination soon. Rally's hitting level 6 a little bit before Bubbles. Bubbles, I think he's... Oh, Rally actually using a stun there to get a creep kill.
Gonna go ahead and health pot up and be fine in the end, so don't need to worry about anything there. Okay, action so far this game, really not the most here. You know, and it pretty much speaks for itself. 5.5 minutes is still very early on, but look at that experience lead for the Legion team, man. 3,200 experience it already. We're only 5.5 minutes into this game, so excuse me, for the Hellborn team. Excuse me, I said Legion, but Hellborn team.
Draconis isn't being able to do much in this lane. If he had the safe lane instead, he'd be farming a lot better. If you had a keeper, he can suicide roll so much better. Move over to the Ancients, do his thing. That's why I don't know. Or maybe they would have the bubbles up there. They would have the bubble suicide and then keep it jungling. Either way, you could have put Draconis in a more favorable position than he's in right now. And right now, it's kind of like you're seeing the results of a game where the hero kill advantage is like 5-1.
Yeah.
In experience and gold.
Oh, speaking of kills, Draconis might be in trouble right here. Tempest does have an ultimate. Will he use it? Oh, yes, he'll barely catch him right there, and that'll guarantee the Bloodlust going to come out. I was wondering if Ron was going to use it. It seemed like it'd definitely be worth it. And he finally does. Wasted the last second, though, to do so. But again, Bloodlust kill happens, and now we see the lead even expanding just that much more here early on for Impunity. As now Artillery of those Ghost Marchers, the Ring of the Teacher already finished. He's now going to put some pressure on this top tower. So Artillery's farm all of a sudden at 354 gold per minute, especially after that Bloodlust.
Well, in response to looking sort of sandwich here on this middle lane, Jerzai is moving forward. He's got that Ring of Sorcery. Not able to make anything happen to Draconis. He was heading towards the top lane. Sees that they're pushing down the tower and applying a lot of pressure. He's like, screw this. I'm going to go with my team and push down mid. Begin to get some map control up because I'm hurting in farm.
Oh, Rowley going to compel over into the Kongor pit, so he takes the Kelfield stun, but he will be fine in the end. So that top tower goes down, but talking about the middle lane going to be pushed here. I don't think it's going to be enough, though. Or will it actually? All 5 of them are here, so yeah, never mind. Very likely could be. Rowley's still holding his ground, though. Will Impunity react to this with some TPs? Or, well, yes, they will. There you go. Big Rowley compel. Misses. Everyone but Jerzai, though. Jerzai, can he Soul's Blessing in time? Yes, he can. There's a Soul's Blessing. The LRM going to be completely nullified like we talked about. Raz the Pharaoh comes in, though. Draconis in a little bit of trouble. Has that Protective Charm up, though. And now signifies the one that needs to be careful. Comments on him. He will fall. Artillery Barrage just not in time. Deny the tower, at least, coming out for Impunity. So that's pretty good for them. But the Soul's Blessing having a big impact right there from Jerzai, as expected. Dragon Flame hits Artillery. Tempest with a charge shot, but he will be fine. Bubbles getting turned on, actually. Bubbles might die. No, the shell serve. Barely going to avoid death. The disjoint of the auto attack going to be fine. Look at Luna here, though. Well, Luna doesn't have a power thing. No, he doesn't have the mana for it. And he will actually just go for surviving. So, works out in the end for Friends Forever. Granted, the tower was denied again.
It was. I believe that was Artillery actually sniping it out with this huge base damage. I might be wrong.
Oh, I know. It was actually a Luna.
Was it a Luna? Okay,
yeah.
Okay. So, Act here, he's got that ward down in the middle lane, freshly placed. Master of Arms looking like he's going back to base to regain full mana here. He got the Invis Room, but he's still pretty low. And well, we'll see how long, or if he is able to set anything up with it. Only 30 seconds left. He has to heal up and then move back out. It's going to be tough. Maybe he can move top lane and catch Artillery if he's quick enough.
Yeah, you see Artillery here.
If Strider's gold? No, it's going to be, yeah, I don't think so.
Not going to happen. I mean, Draconis also only level 4 still, man. This... Again, it kind of goes back to the interesting decision from Friends Forever, not only with finishing their draft, with choosing to pass up the Keeper as they go in for that Master of Arms, but on top of that, going with the lane positioning, sending that Draconis to the top lane just seems kind of odd there when it came down to it. So,
oh, it did, but hopefully the rest of his team is going to be able to make things happen with this Jerzai. Whoa, they're actually going out Artillery top lane, going to get the stun off.
The barrage comes out. It looks like it might be enough. Shell Serve will connect. Yes, it will. It's not going to see the final auto attack. It's going to defeat him right there. The Ghost Marcher's not enough to get away. Meanwhile, the middle lane seismic time Jerzai. The Hail Palm comes out, though. There's our Protective Charm, and Jerzai will survive. So they try to get at least a return kill. Wasn't to be, though. Friends Forever makes the turnaround happen, but now actually Bubbles porting in. No Song of the Sea just yet. If he had a Song of the Sea, there may be a kill. It's only level 1, though.
Yeah.
Rowley's going to be fine.
So yeah, he probably would have just lived regardless, but yeah, still a nice attempt there coming out from Bubbles. And now, okay, let's take a look at what Friends Forever does have going for them in this lineup. We talked about the Pharaoh initiation, how it usually indicates that there's going to be Artillery follow-up, and it makes it really easy for Jerzai to use his Soul's Blessing and mitigate a lot of the damage. The fact that Rowley is physical on top of it, definitely not a great thing you want to fight up against. And the fact that they have Andromeda later on to cancel an Elemental Void no matter what the situation.
Yeah. See Tempest, speaking of him, he is pushing the top lane currently and actually going to start falling back now. He's got that Ring of Sorcery. The Bracer, it looks like, on the way to is eventually that Astrolabe, of course. So obviously going to be good news for the Hellborn team. But right now, Wrath of the Pharaoh going to be right there catching Draconis. Andromeda's nearby. Only level 4. Commissar comes out. Pharaoh taking a lot of pressure, but down goes Draconis to compel help. Get the kill to him. Andromeda's now going to be chased down. The Glacial Blast going off. Nice forked lightning, but it just doesn't matter. Too much damage coming out. And Andromeda falls. So a 2-for-0 exchange right there. All set up by Signify with that Wrath of the Pharaoh. So very well executed right there from Team Impunity. And actually, it's not over just yet. Or never mind. It looks like it might be.
Yeah, with that gank, Tempest also down here going to make the... Well, actually, his Elemental's already up. And Attack here, multiply them. Push down the tower as Tempest tends to do.
Yep, with the support of Rally, Aluna, of course, right here. You see, it could use the Comet to actually clear out the trees right there. So just in case, Friends Forever may be hiding around, trying to set up a counter here. The tower's not necessarily going to be pushed, though, it looks like. It still has plenty of life. And actually, Friends Forever, 4 heroes are down here. In fact, there's the 5th one porting in. So they're ready to defend this, but Impunity already falling back. And that means a lot of resources are being spent right here. Bubbles ports in, not in range for Kelfield, though. And now Artillery is just going to push back this to middle lane, you see, as it's now going to start applying pressure to the tower. So will Friends Forever keep going? They do have a couple of TPs to use Master and Bubbles. But no, all 5 of them, they're going to go to this bottom lane, so we could see some tower exchanging going on right here. Bottom tower is fairly low. Friends Forever, though, again, pushing that middle. Will they get it quickly enough? I don't know. It's going to be close here. As Friends Forever, they're getting pushed back, though. So Artillery may be able to make this work. I don't know, though. It seems like they might. Friends Forever is going to port in, however. In fact, there you go. There's the one port, and Andromeda's there in time. Not deniable just yet, so
yeah,
we'll give it a little bit longer.
Let that tower fall. What are we looking at here? We had the...
What's up? The Artillery's up there.
Yeah, no. It's towards the bottom lane. Oh, I was going to point out the Tempest, his skill build this game. Take a look at it.
Oh, yeah, interesting. I saw the comments. Didn't even think,
and I'm
but
like,
yeah.
the county's level 8, and I'm like, that's peculiar.
Meteor.
And I was like, uh-oh.
Oh, right to the Pharaoh. Connects to Draconis right there. Kelfield to counter, though. In the meantime, Capel going to be as a nice Capel hitting 2 heroes right there. Demoralizing roar comes out. Draconis will fall in the end. Not to be for surviving. Bubbles now being chased down. Capel coming up soon in 5 seconds, it looks like, for Rally. Bubbles not going to be able to juke away. Combo set hit. Tempest dropping pretty quickly right here, but Andromeda will be able to finish it off the clutch. No, the Mighty Wall comes out. The Capel and Master Bomb. Seismic slam in the face of Master. Master will fall down. Andromeda takes the power, though, and Friends Forever is just falling apart at the seams right here. A quad kill coming out for Trinity. A buyback even used on Bubbles here, but it just is not going to be enough for any type of turnaround. Things getting pretty nice quickly here for Team Impunity.
Yeah, no, that haste rune doing work as we saw. And yeah, I said Trinity was the one guy that everyone else had teal names. He had that purple name. I said I was going to be watching him. He's having the game of his life here.
Yeah.
5-0-1. 330 gold. I feel like he should. Okay, I guess 46 creep kills at 13 minutes isn't that much, and they don't have. Well, they have top tower pushed down.
Yes.
Well, either way, he is what he is. He's looking very strong. One of the top farmers in the game, and well, definitely taken over.
Yeah, looking really good right now. Rally, in the meantime, will clean up a little bit of the Legion jungle before he leaves. Might want to be a little careful here, but. Again, we've seen the potential for Friends Forever with that Jeremiah. If he gets a good Soul's Blessing off, can definitely turn around those fights as usual. But you're looking at an 8,000 golden and a 9,200 experience lead. The biggest factor, I think, and actually middle tower going down there in favor of Artillery. Well, is that Artillery, who's now farming over 400 gold per minute. You got a Draconis on the other end, only level 6, barely managing 175 GPM. Here we have Andromeda running into a Luna. As both are going to be fine in the end, though. But the big picture definitely leans towards Impunity quite a bit. Now Draconis once again actually might be in a lot of trouble here. Hellfire comes up right there. The Mummy Walls are put up as well. You see Mimosa USB standing his ground. Red Parathor comes in, though. He Dragon Flames away, but the Wrath of the Pharaoh comes out. And down falls Draconis. He just cannot find any comfortable spot. And he's just getting locked down here by Impunity.
Yeah, and the thing about this Artillery that's taking off already at 400 gold per minute is that, you know, even when they're on even footing, we've talked about it, Artillery seems to farm faster than even a Draconis when it comes to clearing out ancient stacks.
Yeah.
Stacking the jungle and doing work in general. On top of the fact that they have a Tempest, they're just going to be able to make use and farm a lot more of the map than Friends Forever is able to. If they just keep picking intelligent fights, going for easy pickoffs and farming the map hard, this lead it's going to keep growing and growing and growing and growing.
Yes, it most certainly is. I mean, Impunity 8-2 hero kill lead. Obviously, the 10,000 golden experience lead here already over Friends Forever. They're trying to wrap up Group D again. They're 4-0. They're looking to stay undefeated here in Group D. And if things keep up at this pace, that could very likely happen. So, Friends Forever, again, if they win, we could possibly even have that three-way tie set up. So that would definitely be interesting. But still definitely game left to go. In the meantime, Master of Arms, looks like he's gonna just do a creep pull down here at the bottom lane, and never mind. It seemed like he might have been, but he's still level 4, by the way. You compare that to a level 10 Artillery over here. clearly being under leveled. But other than artillery, you look across the board here for the Hellborn side. You got the National League finished on Tempest. Helm of the Black Legion coming out for Rally here, so he's bulking up quite nice. He's got plenty of build-up on top of the bottle and whatnot. Pharaoh, he too has good build-up, and look at the triple stack Ancients being done by Impunity. They are going to look to drop those. And you also see Impunity placing that Ward of Rev on the Legion Ancients. You talked about that in an earlier game. I think it was Impunity versus MRR, actually, when they were doing it against one another using the Rev here.
Warded the Impunity. Oh, was it? Yeah, I think MMR warded the Impunity Ancients with a Ward of Sight. I mentioned that I like to see the Ward of Rev usually instead. In a case like this, it's actually, I think it's a lot more effective because teams are usually privy to the fact that you warded their Ancients. They go to counter ward it right away, and it's usually around the 2 to 3 minute mark of the ward. Yeah. Usually doesn't block more than 2 stacks, so it just seems to be more efficient. Then you can use that Ward of Sight to gain map control elsewhere. Yeah.
Bottom tower is going to be pushed here by Impunity. No resistance coming out for Friends Forever. Just could not find themselves to get there. Nullstone finished on artillery. He is obviously very farmed now with that item alone. And you stressed earlier, and we've seen so much lately, impact, as far as his farm just really increasing, especially starting with the Nullstone here and taking off. Now up to 450 gold per minute and counting. So the lineup of Friends Forever, they definitely have that team fight potential, but that also requires some decent farm, at least on Draconis, to put out some good damage. Now they do have the Aurora on top of the goo, so at least they do got minus armor to work with again here for that Draconis. So even though he is under farm, still a decent amount of damage could be put out. Granted, he doesn't even have the Cataclysmic Assault just yet. So in that sense, maybe not, but things are coming together pretty nicely again for Impunity here.
Yeah, even if he did, he still doesn't have the damage. I just sort of back it up. And yeah, they're just trying to look for maybe Impunity. Maybe they overextend. They get that Soul's Blessing off, and they're in a little bit too deep. The lockdown with the bubbles, the follow-up between the Master and the Andromeda. A lot of stuns, a lot of lockdown, and hopefully can burst someone down and make them run away. Maybe artillery have to be pretty poorly positioned, though.
Oh, Courier's going to fall right there. The homecoming zone drops, actually. Tempest still on the run. Kelpho going to be coming out. Artillery, will he port to the bottom lane? No, he will not. The big Tempest on the run. Seismic Slam hat trick coming out for Act. Unbelievable turnaround coming out for Impunity. And Friends Forever is just totally falling apart at this point. It's going to end up being a genocide here. Andromeda, one auto attack away to compel to finish him off. Artillery was busy pushing the top. That was the sign for Friends Forever to make something happen. But what a turnaround. They clumped up. Air took advantage. A Seismic Slam on top of it. And Team Impunity now, this is just total control in their favor.
Yeah, Artillery farming 500 gold per minute, and he wasn't even there for that fight. That was literally a 4v5 that they just came out hugely on top of. The Elemental Void into the Seismic Slam. The Power Throw coming out from the Luna, killing 3 heroes. Just way too much for them to deal with. 20,000 gold and 16,000 experience here just at the 19-minute mark. This is an absolute slaughter.
That was a sexy moment indeed in Han. That's one of those, again, the AoE ultimates coming together, especially for that Seismic Slam. Not often we get to see that with the Seismic Slam. Usually it's for that solo, maybe a couple heroes, but that hit at 3, if not 4 heroes. I mean,
did it? Or did it? I don't know. I just saw a lot of people die really quickly. Yeah. To me, it looked like it was going to hit too.
I gotta figure it was that.
And I think it's just a Power Throw.
Just all of it together.
Rock. There's a lot of things coming together there onto the clumped up heroes. So whatever it was, people died, and they died fast.
That's what matters. So now Artillery joining the party now. He has that 3,700 gold saved up, so it's going to be interesting to see what he buys here. Bubble's going to be initiated on. Capel comes out. There's a heal bomb coming out for Jersey, as well as the Protective Charm. Green Stun bouncing around from a Luna. In the meantime, Andromeda will eventually be finished off. Raleigh still one alive. Soul's Blessing comes out, but it's just not going to matter. Jersey still will fall. Of course, magic damage still going through, so able to get the damage done. Draconis going to be gone. A big Compel again coming out. Bubble just shows up away. But 3 heroes are dead just like that for Friends Forever. And it's Trinity is now Savage sick here. He is 7-0-6 so far in this game on the Rally. Another tower push going to be coming up. This is the final outer tower taking on their favor. Obviously, Rally with that portal key. In fact, going to use it right there. Hits the Compel on the bubbles. Not going to really follow that up, though, as he didn't have enough mana for the Seismic Slam, it looks like. So, hell, they're already starting to break into the base here. Friends Forever. They're not going to give up, though. They're going to fight. They're going to give a last stand here, Emperor.
Yeah. Last stand, I guess. Oh man, Trinity actually using that portal key effectively and just doing a great job with that portal key compel combination. It's not always easy. You do pretty accurate with your clicks, pretty quick to use it effectively, but he's on top of things. And well, There they go. It's another wipe. Artillery getting ever closer to that 600 gold per minute mark. Going to be farming 3 times more than anyone here on this Legion team.
Yeah. So again, Friends Forever not giving up just yet. They know that, well, in the end, I mean, this is the just the group stages here. Now, a loss here could mean they end up finishing 3rd place overall, which would, of course, put them straight into the losers bracket finals, though. Obviously, they don't want to be there, so they're just trying to hang in there for any sign of hope. But look at these purchases here. Okay, I think that was a misclick. I saw Luna get a portal key, actually, but I think she sold it and then picked up a bound eye, as well as a couple other items. 5,400 gold on Artillery, man. Okay, well, there you go. Right-clicks a Savage Mace. We're only 21.5 minutes in.
Why not?
Savage Mace, Nullstone Ghost Purchase. Exactly. You know, why the hell not if you have the gold for it? So even more farm. Uh-oh. Rally coming in here with a double damage here and actually trying to find somebody. But no, it looks like it's going to sneak right on by. Can't find Andromeda.
No, he's got that portal key. 3,200 extra gold. And, well, I'd like to see the Shrunken Head picked up at this point. Can't really see whatever else they might need. I mean, I guess they could get a Bulwark, but they're cutting through heroes so quickly anyway. It's, doesn't really matter, let's be honest here. When you have a lead this big, you could be buying Codex Couriers, and it usually would just work out fine.
Yeah. Yeah, 25,000 gold lead, 20,000 experience lead. Only 22.5 minutes in. So yeah, it's safe to say Impunity is feeling pretty good right now about a possible, very possible victory. Ooh, sort of the hide is purchased by Rally right there. Meantime, Andromeda going to be jumped on. Demons of Master's Call comes out, so actually she will end up surviving there. Very, very close, but Hellborn team still has a lot of fighting power left right now. Moving up here, you see Pharaoh's actually going to be joining them here. I feel like Pharaoh should have even a little bit more gold or items at least, but okay, well, there you go. Actually finishing a Shaman's Headdress there being delivered to him, so it's getting loud out there, man.
Yeah, yeah, it is. I can barely hear you over all the noise, Breaky. Anyway, they're pushing the base here. Anyone that gets in the way of this Savage Mace all around is going to get cut down so fast. Speaking of which, Draconis is caught out.
Yeah, Wrath of the Pharaoh going in. Draconis will fall. He cannot buy back at this point. The tower's going to start dropping. Jeriziah not able to keep him up. Just too much damage too quickly happening. And vulnerability coming out right there. Draconis not going to be up for another 30 seconds from now. Tower will fall. And now the push on the racks is going to happen. Okay, Draconis is able to buy back right there, actually. But that jump onto Bubbles right there. Bubbles will eventually fall. Rally does too much damage as well. The rest of the team puts the kill field out. But again, not going to matter. Draconis jumps back in with a Dragon Flame. But the fighting power, the items obviously adding up big time here for the Hellborn side. And they are going to push these middle melee racks. Very likely to be a victory here shortly for Impunity. Again, I just can't see Friends Forever actually having a comeback here. As Rally, nope, he just portal keys away. Not going to actually go in right there, but
yeah, he's playing it safe, not looking to finish the melee racks just yet. There it goes. There it goes. Yeah, they can't even approach. Impunity is way too strong. Right, comes with cover fire. Look at that. Look at Draconis and how fast he is dropping.
Yeah, he just gets jumped and second later dies. So there's a GG well played. I think Friends Forever realized that, all right, it's not going to happen here. We got Draconis, but it's even with them, we're not going to be coming back. So it all started Impunity just early on, right off the bat. I mean, the laning phase, a little awkward. Draconis hit him with the long lane. It just wasn't going to work, it seemed like.
They picked up the Draconis early as well, and they did have the opportunity to grab Artillery. He said how strong Artillery is. He was left in the pool.
Very true.
It might be a case of Friends Forever. They might not have had practice with the hero. It did take a little bit of time before the international scene recognized the hero's power, and maybe they just didn't get to practice themselves, weren't comfortable picking up, and wanted to go for a more comfortable Draconis pick. The laning was just way too strong coming out from Impunity.
Yeah. So Impunity, where does that put them? Well, let me go and refresh just to make sure. But again, Impunity, that means they'll finish 5-0 here in the group stages for this GSL event. So in Group D right there, of course. What's that?
I'm just loving how fast this gets.
Yeah, I know. I refreshed
feels like it's automated.
Yeah, it really does actually. That's a good point. So yeah, looking at these brackets here again, as far as overall and how things are looking. How about that S2Y here from
Really?
Group C? 5